This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world, according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie! Thankfully, my voice didn't crack this time when I did it like I did last episode. What's on your mind?
Hey, man. We're doing I always look forward to these full Ask Meanie Anythings because, you know, it's a break from our usual routine of just talking about anything we want anyway. But I love when the fans ask us questions because it'll bring up things I've totally forgotten about and new stories to tell. And doing pretty good. I enjoy doing these shows.
Yep.
Yeah, I enjoy doing them with you and our pod squad.
I appreciate that, good sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate that every week. I wanted to quickly, though, before we get started, ask you a question, if I may.
Yeah, of course.
A question.
Yes.
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
Yeah, of course.
This is a drizzling shit.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
Don't forget, every week you can tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie. And generally speaking, you would hear them at the end of every episode. But this week, we're giving you another full episode of Ask Meanie Anything. And at the top of the show, I want to thank everyone for sending the questions in. We got a lot of great ones this week. Don't forget, you can see at the bottom of our screen here, if you're watching on our YouTube page, you go to @MindOfTheMeanie at Twitter and Instagram, and follow us there to ask your questioniones.
And before we get into it, if you follow us on patreon.com/mindofthemeanie, we have a little blue room. We talk in before shows, and I was just putting over my friend Tommy Blotch's podcast. And Lucha Lechoso, I brought up a great point of what is the name of that podcast, Meanie? Tommy Blotch's podcast is called Tales from the Attitude Era on YouTube. Go check it out. He is very funny. Tommy Blotch was head writer for WWE and writer for Conan O'Brien's show during the NBC years. And he's got some Conan stories. He's got some WWE stories. And he's just a funny guy to begin with. Also, if you're a fan of Will Sasso and Chad Colchin, who have the Dudesy podcast, they used to have a podcast with Tommy called the 10-Minute Podcast. And I believe they're still using that theme for the Attitude Era podcast. So I heard it, I was like, is this the old 10-Minute Podcast theme? And I'm just assuming. But Lucha, this is Ask Meanie, and Lucha legit asked the question, and I got to answer it. What was the name of that podcast? Tales from the Attitude Era on YouTube. And I believe it's on wherever you get your podcast as well. Because we're not afraid to say another podcast is good, because we believe in our podcast as well. We spread the wealth.
Listen to me very carefully. Listen to us very carefully, okay? We like to help everybody succeed here, okay? That's all. That's all I'm saying. We just like to help everybody. We are a helpful group here, because if you like us, chances are you're going to like them. And we want to support everybody in this space because we're supporters, and that's what we do.
I believe the toilet. The saying is, "A clogged toilet floats all shits."
And I think that should be the name of the episode. Travis has a follow-up question on that. Ever see when Sheamus kicked the head off of the Conan mannequin?
No, but I will make it a point to.
Yep.
I like Conan. I love Conan O'Brien, and Mrs. Meanie's a huge fan of Conan O'Brien, and cites him for her delinquency of why she would be up all night and sleepy in school. But I love Conan O'Brien, and Tommy has been very cool to tell me some really cool stories that I don't even know if he's told publicly from the days of working on Conan. But
wow,
if you watch his podcast, I'm up to. He's got 6 out so far. We're up to episode 4, And I believe on one of the next episodes, he's got Andy Richter from Conan on, and they're just talking about wrestlers on the Conan O'Brien show. So, give that podcast a little love. If you're watching the episode, go in their comments and say, Mind of the Meanie sent you.
Nice.
Because I want them to know that we support them. We support them. We support Dudesy. We support, a lot of good podcasts out there. Ain't no shame in saying somebody else has a good show too. We show love to everybody.
Absolutely. I was just thinking one of the things that we do in the house now, because the kids love the Jesse Ventura stuff. So I'll hear James or Daniel walking around the house going, "How come Tower 7 fell down on its own?" And I just think that's the best thing of all time. Why don't you tell me? So we have our
jet fuel cans. The bank can't melt steel.
down in the Iran Contra. So we have our first question here.
Whoa. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. We are. We got excited about Jesse Ventura here. What are we drinking today?
Surprise to no one. I am on my final case.
Oh, wow.
So I better chair. I got like maybe 7 more after this one. The Bellevue pumpkin pie seltzer that I bought after Thanksgiving, and I bought like 20 cases because they're 78 cents a piece, and because I am such a cheapskate.
Travis goes, the Baja.
I have potable water.
I have an upwards of 150 dogs. Down the green goes down in the Baja.
What's that?
Down in the Baja with the largest American flag ever made is where Jesse Ventura lives.
You tell me.
I don't know. You tell me, Green. What do you think? Today, I have the cheap shit from Aldi. I have the Sparkling Frost Classic Lemonade here. So we're going to Sandman this shit in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a nice citrusy kiss. Pinkies up. Cheers. Cheers, beers. Pinkies up. That's good shit.
Tastes better when I remember to put it in the fucking fridge.
That's right. That's good shit.
I can't help but put pinkies up because I destroyed my hand years ago.
That's
as straight as it gets. So it helps the gimmick, brother.
Probably more comfortable here. I love
Great for picking your nose too.
Nice hook nose. We got a lot of Jesse Ventura going on in the comments right now, and I fucking love it. My unholy army of the night.
Keep them coming.
Got to do the whole thing. Got to do the head moving and the teeth. Well, carry and cross. Dude, so fucking good. RJ Krasinski. What up, RJ? What's going on, man? We appreciate you. Thank you for your questions every week. Don't forget to check out Reffin' It Up, his podcast with Brian Hebner and Jimmy Corderas.
Great podcast.
Great stuff.
Love those guys.
Friends of the show with Indianapolis.
I was blessed to work with those fine gentlemen.
And Jimmy's been on the Foundation Radio program as well, so go ahead and check that out as well. Jimmy is an absolutely wonderful guy. Great stories he told as well, and probably something that you haven't learned about Jimmy Corderas was told on my show, so go check it out at foundationradio.net. Ask Meanie with Indianapolis getting SummerSlam, Mania, and Royal Rumble in 2025. What other cities do you see being given the same treatment? And Meanie, I hope you're with me on this. When I hear the name Indianapolis, I think of that classic Carlin bit when he talks about getting old and he's at the airport. He's trying to get the bag off of the luggage cart, and then someone walks up like, "Oh, let me help you with that. Oh, thank you so much." And he's like, "Where are you headed?" Indianapolis. Fuck them, put them to work. They want to help? Fuck them, put them to work.
Yeah. Dude, I love George Carlin. Well, their city. I think they're Indianapolis is getting this love because Pat McAfee's been in Triple H's ear. Mm-hmm. Last week I referenced, the Triple H appearance on the Pat McAfee show. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And Triple H says, well, he kind of, pestered us into doing this. But if they had to pick another city, I want to see a SummerSlam in Philly.
Yeah.
Hold on. Bring up that graphic again.
You got it.
If it was so kind. So to refresh my memory because I was babbling.
Indianapolis.
SummerSlam, Mania, Royal Rumble. I would love to see Philly get a SummerSlam. SummerSlam in Philly would be awesome. You could have the ultimate like block party.
Yeah.
Concerts down on the waterfront, and dude, rent out the Link and Citizens Bank Park. Have WWE have SummerSlam at Meanie, have NXT over at Citizens Bank Park. Just why not? Other cities. What city haven't they been to in a while? That you would with it being getting SummerSlam. SummerSlam, Mania.
Yeah.
You would have to think of a dome city. Philly was like a bit of an experiment with colder type weather.
Yeah.
First night was freezing. Second night was pretty good.
For super selfish reasons, I'd love for them to do something in Seattle.
Yeah.
I've never been to Seattle. I would love to go to Seattle.
That Mania was pretty good. That setup was really good. In Seattle. I would love to see that. Yeah. The weather's usually pretty good. The factor is Mania in that warm weather, having a warm weathered city,
Yeah.
or a city with a dome,
Yeah.
They already announced SummerSlam 2 nights for Minneapolis, right?
Yeah. Minneapolis.
So-
I think that's, 2026, right? Because Vegas is next year. So yeah,
That's
2026.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they tack on a Mania for Minneapolis, because they've, Minneapolis, the Vikings have had that new stadium for a while there, and WWE, you should, like the Super Bowl, likes to take advantage of a brand new stadium.
Yeah.
Maybe LA again, but they just had Mania there, so screw them.
Yeah.
Philly. I'll go with Philly again. I want another Mania in Philly because it was so cool. But
I feel like Philly is the right choice, though. I feel like eventually we'll get a SummerSlam, like within the next couple of years. I'd love to see the Rumble. I'd love to see the Rumble maybe in 2026. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But
again, you have to go with a warm weather city. If they're going to do the Rumble at stadiums, can't really have it in Philly. But
yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it was in Tampa. Tampa was super fucking warm this year. Like, I was wearing shorts in January. I was like, this is fucking weird. So, yeah, I think Philly's the right choice here. Let's start going down these questions here from the Pod Squad. Don't forget, right above my head here, subscribe and join us in the Pod Squad today. Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Tiers start at just $10 a month. So you can join us and skip that pizza this month and come and hang out with us each and every week. Nate Smythe, Sheridan Ford Sales. What up, dog?
look at that haircut, bro.
Seriously.
Pretty
My
tight.
God, that fucking fade is phenomenal. And the beard isn't on point here. It's ridiculous. Meanie and Adam, what do you think is your favorite wrestling movie or a movie starring wrestlers, i.e. The Longest Yard, etc.?
Oh, my God. Going back to my childhood, probably there's a movie, Body Slam. With, I want to say, the guy who was from the A-Team, Dirk Benedict, maybe? Mm-hmm. Which starred Roddy Piper and the Tonga Kid, and it's kind of like a rock and wrestling type, connection type movie. That was really cool. That was kind of cool because as a kid, every day I used to watch Entertainment Tonight before it became what it is now. It was actually felt like real news or whatever, but and they were doing like behind the scenes of making a body slam and stuff like that. So you knew it was coming, and then you saw it, and then there's cameos by Ric Flair and stuff like that in that movie. Another good wrestling movie would be For All the Marbles with Peter Falk.
Okay.
Kind of a little bit of an older movie if you're into older movies about women's tag team wrestling. More recently, I'll say it. I love Ready to Rumble.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great movie. It was a fun movie. You didn't have to take it too seriously. It was just dumb fun.
Yeah.
being a Van Halen fan and have a van full of nuns singing "Running with the Devil" was pretty cool. Then a favorite movie with wrestler acting, of course, They Live. Was pretty good. And I thought Kevin Nash in The Longest Yard was amazing. That had a bunch of wrestlers that had, Kevin Nash, Goldberg, Steve Austin. So that was pretty cool.
I am a fan of the very first Punisher movie with Thomas Jane and John Travolta, and Kevin Nash is in that movie as the Russian. And I love the movie. I think it's great. It's like one of my favorite earlier superhero movies before the Marvel explosion happened. Who else?
Nash accidentally got stabbed.
He did.
With Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane accidentally stabbed him in the shoulder. Oh, my God.
That's a shoot, brother.
Oh, boy. Cut. Oh, this sucks. Obviously for nostalgia reasons, No Holds Barred, which is not a great movie, but it is.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It is.
I saw that in the theater.
Wow. I'm pretty sure we did, too, I think. What's that smell? Dookie. Dookie. Vince definitely wrote that. You can say it like Dookie. No, I mean, it's like.
What's that smell?
Anything with Zeus in it is Zeus is good shit, man. I love that flick. Who else? Trying to think of another movie that had a wrestler in it that I would like. Ready to Rumble was fun. No, I think that's probably. I think The Punisher. If I'm thinking of like my favorite, wrestler in the movie, or a movie. I mean, anything Batista does though. Like, let's not discount Dave Batista. Everybody wants to have this conversation about John Cena and The Rock being, the best crossover. Dave Batista's got them both fucking beat. Like leaps and bounds. Like, we're not even just talking about Drax. Like, we're talking about this guy's doing fucking M. Night Shyamalan movies. He's doing big time Hollywood stuff. Like, oh, you know what other flick I liked actually was Walking Tall with Television's Rock the Dwayne Johnson and Johnny Knoxville. I love that flick. I know it's like, people are like, oh, this isn't that great, but like sleeper wise, that's a great fucking movie, man. Great flick.
Hey, Captain Lou Albano was in Wise Guys with Joe Piscopo and Danny DeVito, which is pretty cool, which had a young Matt Stryker playing Danny DeVito's child.
Interesting.
In the movie. Yeah. He was either DeVito's or Piscopo's kid. I got to watch that again. But Wise Guys, they just reminded me where Captain Lou was like, it was weird seeing Captain Lou like clean cut with the slicked back hair and a pencil thin mustache. But, being, a child of the 80s, I'm more biased towards those older movies, Batista does movies now, Cena does movies, but now it's more the norm. Back in the day, it was very rare, to see a wrestler in a movie.
Lucha actually fact checked me in real time, which we appreciate that. We don't see that much these days. People getting checked in real time, fact checked on television. But that's the second Punisher movie. There's one with Dolph Lundgren from the late 80s. I was not aware of that. Thank you for checking me. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Doll. And then, the green with Ivan Drago. Travis hitting us with the Suburban Commando. Another one. Great stuff.
Which had The Undertaker, I believe.
Yeah, very young Undertaker. We got, so somebody bid. Shackelford says, did you guys say They Live? We did. And then. If
I didn't say They Live, I would expect you to publicly shame me.
And Matt hitting us again with Mr. Nanny. Matt's a big fan of the Hulkamania movies there.
Santa with Muscles.
That's right. Here we go.
Actually was pretty good,
What is it now?
Santa with Muscles was actually pretty good. Me and Mrs. Meanie put it on our holiday watch list.
I'll have to check it out. I don't think I've ever actually watched it. I've heard of it.
Bad.
I was going to say, it's so bad. You're like, this is incredible. Yeah.
It's the shits.
This is a drizzling shit.
That'll be us all Christmas long this year. Vanessa Bello, Pod Squad member. What's up, Vanessa? What's going on? How would you fit The Rock into these storylines? And she's also referring to the new Bloodline 2.0 storylines. Dwayne hinted he may be back in time for SummerSlam in his last post-Mania promo.
That's a good point, man. Because I just went on that whole thing saying, the Roman will probably be back at SummerSlam, the battle with the Bloodline 2.0.
Right.
I said that on last week's episode, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be interesting. If The Rock, say Rock and Roman take on bring them in. I was saying, Roman and Cody, which could work.
Yeah.
But depends. That's a great question. That kind of throws a monkey wrench into my thought process when it comes to old Bloodline, the original Bloodline versus this new Bloodline. But
yeah.
And I think The Rock goes with Roman now.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That's a great question, though. That's a great question.
Matt from Dover, a.k.a. the Green 413, wants to know, hey, Meanie, when you're up late and you can't sleep, do you watch those carpet cleaning videos or the horse hoof cleaning videos? Because I sure as fuck watch those carpet cleaning videos.
I don't even know what that's about. What are those? I see stuff on Reels every now and then where they pull a carpet out from like a house that's been flooded, stuff like that. I watch? I watch the people out in the middle of the woods making log cabins.
Yeah.
They'll dig a hole in the side of a mountain and make a place to live. And I'm just like, man, I would totally do that. Just give me some Wi-Fi.
Yeah. For sure.
Live in some dirt. My dream is to win the lottery and buy a house in the middle of nowhere just with some Wi-Fi and just be left the fuck alone. Just, where I could just look out and not see another house for miles, just like, I'd be heaven. Not that I hate people. I just need some quiet,
I know what you mean.
I've been living in a city for so long and it's hustle and bustle and car horns and people double park next to wide open spots. And, I'm constantly angry to the point where I never want to leave my house. People are like, oh, we used to hang out all the time. I was like, yeah, you can come to me, bro. Just come to me. I ain't going nowhere. I'll be home or at McCusker's. Pick one.
I was just gonna say, I'll meet you at McCusker's. I'll see you there. Yeah.
Yeah. You know where I am. 3 places I'm at. Home, McCusker's, 2300 Arena. Just pick one. If I go out, there's a good chance I'm going to spend money or get in trouble.
Yep.
And I ain't about that life anymore. Just yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I would love to I watch those log cabin videos and I'm just like, oh, that's amazing. Me, a dog, some Wi-Fi, and Mrs. Meanie, I don't think she would want to live in a log cabin though. But yeah, or just buy a house in the middle of nowhere with not having a neighbor for like a couple miles,
I never thought I would be a carpet cleaning video watcher. And then I watched one and I was like, man, that's fucking cool. And there's this one group on Facebook, I think it's called Mountain Valley Cleaners. I'm going to get the name for it right now while we're talking about it. Okay. And they, Mountain Rug Cleaning. It's on Facebook. They have 2.1 million followers, bro. Good and they have the nastiest rugs of all time. And he has these tools called Dirt Reynolds, which is a big carpet cleaner. R2 Clean 2, which is a big scrubber. And Loose Squeege. And it's got a cowboy hat and everything with the big googly eyes on it. And
chewing gum.
And Loose Squeegee, which is a squeegee that's dressed up like Luigi. It is literally the most satisfying thing I've ever watched in my life. It's so relaxing. Like, we watch it every night now. Like, the kids watch it with me while we sit here. And it seems ridiculous and stupid, but brother, It is phenomenal. So thank you, Mountain Rug Cleaning, for your contribution to our family life. We appreciate you. And I'll put a link in the show notes if you want to check them out because they're fucking great.
I have to put this over. We're talking about things to put us to sleep. There is a podcast. I think I might have put these guys over before. The Northwoods Baseball Sleep Radio. It's a fake baseball game designed to help you go to sleep. And you can find that on Spotify. And, they have a made-up league with made-up teams, made-up commercials. And it's, right around the second inning is when I conk out. It's just like, now up to bat. Such and such. Swing and a miss. Just stuff like just fucking great. Just fucking, and we put it on, and within 20 minutes, I'm out. 20 minutes or less.
Yeah, that's good shit, man.
That's good shit, pal.
That's good shit. Next question comes from David in Quakertown. That's a good lead-in for David. David from Quakertown wants to know, who is the toughest opponent you've ever faced? And by tough, he means stiffest, if that is the right phrase. Who is the stiffest opponent you've ever faced?
I would have said my own reflection in the mirror, because nobody beats me up more than I beat up myself. I don't know. Just toughest opponent. Me. Just because, seriously, because nobody beats me up more than I do watching and sometimes I can't even watch some of my old matches because, not that I think they suck. I was like, I could have been so much better. There's things I could have done better.
Yeah.
Stiff. Maybe Johnny K9. AKA Bruiser Bedlam. They did a whole dark side of the ring on him. I worked one match with him, and I made the mistake of going up and going, "Hey, do you mind if I do this?" That he's the veteran, and I'm suggesting, or I should just like, "Oh, sir, what would you like to do?"
Yeah.
Yeah, the bell rang, and that's all I remember.
Really?
Well, I remember being tossed outside the ring. And this was in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, at a Greek center for Scott D'Amore. And Johnny Bruiser tossed me out. And they had it's a Greek center, so they had those cafeteria chairs.
Yeah.
Like the high school cafeteria chairs. They're one piece of plastic that, and he hit me with that, and it shattered, and it gigged the back of my head. And he hit me so he was rough enough on me to the point where when I came back through the curtain, he was waiting there to apologize. Hey buddy, hey bro, I'm sorry, man. Didn't mean to get you like that. It's like, I went, no sir, thank you for the opportunity. And hey buddy, hey bro, blah blah blah. And then went in the locker room and just sat in the corner and did whatever. And he was cool with me after that as well. I think I showed up at a show he was booked on, and he like pulled me in the locker room and told the promoter to book me to use me on the show that night, and I got on the show that night because he felt so bad about how rough he was with me.
God, good grief.
Oh yeah.
Matt's got a bunch of good questions for you. This one popped me when I saw it come up, and I've been trying not to laugh about it the whole time we've been recording. Do you have a favorite bathroom that you like to stool at?
Yeah, I recently.
Oh my God.
Too cool for stool. Dude, I've been, for those who are not familiar, I've been like destroying bathrooms lately. out in the wild, and I'll just leave it to Instagram. I can't keep with all social medias because I usually do it in real time. But Joanne Fabrics pretty good, man. It's very spacious. You have the bar to grip on, the motivational grip bar, just to lean on, or rest your head, or my legs don't reach the baby my legs don't reach the baby changing station, so just I'll do that, and then I'll post it on Instagram with a funny song that can relate to it somehow. But probably a Joanne Fabrics, just for the probably the infrequent use of it. It's way cleaner than a gas station. You go to a gas station and guys are pigs. One of the things you find in a gas station restroom, but at Joanne Fabrics, just little old ladies. Just you walk in, it's spotless. But yeah,
not after you leave. That porcelain is stained.
Yeah, it's freckled.
Oh man, Mike.
Racing stripes.
Mike Jr. wants to know, what's the best piece of advice a coach ever gave you?
Man. If you ever, most veterans have always, I can't attribute this to one person. Just if you feel like you're going too slow, go slower. As a rookie, you're bound to try to rush through things because you don't think the crowd's reacting. Meanwhile, an audience, when you're in the ring, an audience, it takes a crowd usually 1 to 2 seconds to digest what they have just seen. Like, you do something and it's like 1, 2, oh man, Whereas if you're clobbering people over the head with the things you're doing, they don't have a time to digest or react. It's just this overload of emotions.
Right.
So, if you feel like you're going too slow, because that's what a young guy will do, they'll be like, "Oh no, I'm going too slow. I got." They'll rush through things. They make mistakes. So if you feel like you're going too slow, go slower. And they're just great life advice. I was riding with Raven one time, and he was talking about when he was younger, and he felt like there was that uncomfortable silence on a car ride where you felt like you had to say something, and if you weren't saying something, you get in your head that somebody in the car has heat or whatever.
Yeah,
I've just gotten used to just saying nothing. Some people feel like they have to talk the whole time. In any situation, sometimes you don't have to say anything. You can just, as Depeche Mode would say, enjoy the silence. So on a car ride, some of the best car rides are me and Mrs. Meanie going down the highway with the radio playing, and we might not say anything for like an hour and a half. We're just enjoying each other's company, and that's the best feeling, just that comfort level, we'll be laying in bed, just staring at our phones and just, enjoying each other's company and presence, enjoying, that's a good life thing, I learned that from Raven too, because I was kind of like that. I was like, oh my God, I'm not saying anything. Should I say something? Do they think I'm being a snob? Or do they think I'm stuck up? I gotta say something. I gotta be one of the boys. Sometimes they're not. Most of the time, they're not even thinking that. And then you'll end up forcing, becoming overbearing, and be like, man, this guy won't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just being comfortable with silence. Behind the scenes, being comfortable with silence, and in the ring, if you feel like you're going too slow, go slower.
Pod Squad member Machete Von Kill wants to know, if someone were to create a cannabis strain in Meanie's honor, let's be honest, it's going to be Rob Van Dam. What would it taste like?
I mean, you have to do blueberry, right?
Got it.
Yeah, book it.
Book it, pal.
Yeah, man. Blueberry, everything has to be blueberry or, my beard oil is blue spruce, So, hopefully somebody would make it a fucking strain of blueberry cannabis. Called the Blue Meanie.
I was just going to say, you could literally just call it the Blue Meanie. Like, the name already wrote itself. So, Rob, I know you're listening to the show, friend of the show, Rob Van Dam.
Yes.
Robert, Mr. Van Dam, whatever it is. Sir.
Robert Van Donaire.
If you would please be so kind, sir, to give us this great strand. So I got a question from Matt about who killed WCW. Russo said bro 343 times in his latest interview for Who Killed WCW, and he wanted to know your thoughts on the plethora of bros in that episode.
I just try to figure, is it a shoot or a work?
Right.
The amount of bros he says. Because before I started getting comfortable doing this podcast or doing interviews, you would always work in a, you say something, you go, yeah, and then I went to the show on, and that uses of the word, is me thinking of the next thing to say without having dead air. Speaking of dead air, right?
Yeah.
So or some guys go, or I'm guilty of and stuff like that. People go, yeah, I went to the show and stuff like that. I went to the show, So I think that's Vince Russo's saying bro is his version of saying and stuff like that. I think it's just a mechanism he uses to move on to the next thing,
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Just be a transition. And
yeah. And
I do that a lot. I hear it when I go back and record it. I'm like, Carl, is there any way you can pull that out? He's like, you just say it too many times. It can't be done. You'd miss 20 minutes of the show because you say it too many times.
Sprain his index finger, hitting the delete button.
Jesus fucking Christ. How many times are you going to say it?
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. I hate this. Shout out to Carl Pennell, the greatest.
Makes it sound good.
He makes us sound great every fucking week, man. So we thank you, sir, for doing that. Last question today comes from our friend Carlo Carlson. Hey, Blue and Goob, love the pod is what he meant to say there. He spelled it wrong, but I'll ask a question. So Cash Wheeler and Dax got Bret Hart for his birthday. How jealous were you when you found this out? And as a bonus question, what wrestler would you want to show up for your birthday?
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right. But show for my hey, look at what Meanie Mania was.
Yeah.
Like all the guys who came out, Al Snow came out, Jerry Lynn came out, Braun Strowman came out. A whole bunch of people came out. Little Guido came out. It wasn't a birthday party, but it was a hell of a party, and it was a party nonetheless.
Yeah.
And all those guys made time out of their busy WrestleMania schedules to come hang out and drink some beers, with myself and the rest of the crew at McCuskers. And it just turned out it's a party, but it turned out to be my wedding too. So, and Al Snow got to wed me and Mrs. Meanie, which was really wasn't scheduled because Al didn't know. Nobody knew we were getting married, not even our families. And I brought up Al up to the front under the guise of we were going to just make some announcements. Hey, Al Snow, welcome Al Snow. And I did the promo and that, said we were getting married right then and there. And then we were going to do the Spaceballs weddings where, do you? Yes. Do you? Yes. All right, you're married. Because we had that self-uniting wedding license. But then Al saw the opportunity, took the mic and performed the ceremony, and it was just as good. It was awesome.
That's awesome, man.
So anybody invited to Miami, it's happened. You know, Al, Jerry Lynn, Braun, Guido. And God, I know I'm forgetting somebody, but there's so many. Keith Elliott Greenberg came out. That was amazing. So many fans from around the world, bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
You cause.
We need a bro on the board, but we also have this.
Angel Hernandez, you stink, and I don't like you.
Which I feel like is kind of close. But
I love the Philly captain. But yeah, man. It's kind of happened with Meanie Mania.
Yeah. I don't know who I would want at a bird because I don't drink. I'm not a drinker anymore. I don't know, man. What do I want a pizza with? Maybe Dwayne? But see, Dwayne's like, let's order 6 pizzas. I'm going to eat 5 3/4 of them, and you can have a slice.
Do you still do the herb?
I do not actually. No, I've cut it all. Yeah, I've cut it all off. Yeah, I'm completely good. Yeah, thank you, man. It was a long overdue.
In a non-condescending way.
No, absolutely. No, I think it needed to be done. It's another story for another day for sure. Yeah. But it got to be a little too much. And I decided I needed a break. So
I admire anybody who can just do anything just to better themselves like that.
It was the good choice. No, I think probably Dwayne. I think it would be fun to have Dwayne just pop up somewhere. Matt says he would want RVD to smoke the stickiest of the icky, and I would imagine.
Well, back in the day, who's the coolest person you've smoked with?
Let me think about this for a second.
Or at least somebody that's
notable. Somebody notable that he's not cool. Notable. He's not cool, but
for instance, 2 different occasions. Well, one occasion I got to smoke weed with Ron Funches.
Cool.
And the other one I smoked weed with Doug Benson.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's pretty cool.
And 2 guys who are known to be fucking Doug Benson did weed fucking documentaries. So, it's you remember Super Size Me?
Yeah.
He did a documentary called Super High Me about weed. So to smoke weed from his pipe.
Yeah.
Was Mrs. Meanie got to smoke with Sebastian Bach from Skid Row. One time.
Yeah. Sebastian.
That was pretty cool.
Sebastian was at that hotel smashing event that I was at, and I didn't get to smoke with him, but Green wants to know, did you ever smoke with Bam? Bam is actually not a pothead, at least when I knew him. He was not a pot smoker. He did it very, very rarely. Rarely to the point where that was one thing that I never really saw in the house. If people had it, he didn't care if it was in the castle, but he wasn't smoking it. I guess I would say the most notable person I smoked with was, I think, Aaron Lewis from Stained, but he's a fucking prick. So he's a real, he's a real fucking prick, just a total asshole. One of the worst people I've ever actually met in person. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else notable. I don't even remember if Juliette Lewis was smoking that time. When I saw her at the Note, I don't think Matt Skiba was either from Alkaline Trio. We were just drinking. I did a lot of drinking with a lot of those more notable folks, right? Yeah. Matt Skiba was in a band called Alkaline Trio. So he also replaced Tom DeLonge in Blink-182 for a while. We drank with him one night, all night. That was pretty cool. Sebastian Bach had a bunch I drank with a little bit. I can't remember if Bonaducci was drinking that time when we were with him, but he was a super cool guy. No, I guess Aaron Lewis would be the most notable person. But I wouldn't say the coolest. Yeah, he's fucking just dreadful. Just I know we don't talk politics on the show, but his current personality and his current stuff tracks completely with the person that I actually met in person. Yeah, Matt was there. My brother was there. And he said he was the worst. But he's just a shitbag. Again, another story for another day. Maybe I'll tell. But yeah, he was.
You, sir, are a bag of shit.
He is Like, actually, you know what? If you replace Angel Hernandez in this with Aaron Lewis, it would make sense.
Angel Hernandez, you stink, and I don't like you.
Like, I fucking deeply dislike that man. But what I don't deeply dislike, and what I deeply like doing, is this show every week and this segment, sir. Getting to ask you all these questions every single week on the program. So
I thought this was one of the better ones we've done.
I believe so. We got a lot of, again, shout out to the Pod Squad as well. They've been dropping questions like crazy on me here. Travis, I wanted to pull this back up about a question we got asked earlier from Nate Piper. Roddy Piper was always great, and It's Always Sunny whenever he was on. That show is absolutely fabulous.
Yes.
So I was always, Piper just fucking sold it every time he was on. So that was good stuff there. But we appreciate you listening. And again, every week we do this segment at the end of every show. It's Ask Meanie Anything. So tweet us your questions using the hashtag. You can send it to us on Instagram. You can send it on Twitter. You can comment on the bottom of the shows and let us know if you have any questions for the Blue guy as you're listening. But Blue, I want to thank you for being a part of this show, sir. I want to thank you for being here today. And where can everyone keep up? I appreciate you. Where can everyone keep up with all things Blue when they're not listening to the program?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Blue Meanie BWO on all forms of social media. And if you would like to support the Blue Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. Get yourself a Meanie Mania shirt that I happen to be wearing 2 weeks in a row for some reason. I don't understand.
I don't know.
Go to ProWrestlingTees.com. Hold on. Yep, still good. ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie BWO. Underwear, not so much. If you would like to support Mind of the Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand. Go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Use coupon codes Meanie or use coupon code MIND. Save 10% over there at collarandelbowbrand.com. If you're in Philadelphia and need t-shirts, go to JPT's for your t-shirt printing needs. JPT's is a family-owned business that has been making quality printed shirts since 1986. For more information, go to jpts.com. Letter J, letter P, TEES.com. MadCatBeardCare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Josh Thornton's doing an amazing job over there at MadCatBeardCare.com. Go over there. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil Balm. Josh does an amazing job. He rounds up all the feral cats in his neighborhood, takes them to the vet, and leaves them better than he found them. So if you're a cat lover like myself, go to madcatbeardcare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles in 2024. There should be a demo coming out in third quarter on Steam, so check that out. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters by the amazing Al Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others. For more information, go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. Ultraprowrestling.com or go to Twitter and follow them with UPW Video Game. The Figure Collections Bone Crushing Wrestlers Series 1 variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1 can be ordered right now at shop.figurecollections.com. That's shop.figurecollections.com. Type Blue Meanie in the search bar. Select Original Blue Meanie or BW Blue Meanie. Either way, there's no wrong choice. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's podstrz.net. Register your podcast. Book the Blue Guy. Let's have a conversation over there at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Book through the site, not through the app. That takes too much money of your hard-earned money that you're trying to pay these talents to do these videos for you. So go to Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO and let's make somebody's day a whole lot more better. But what would be better, Mr. Barnard, if you told us where can we find you, sir?
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. You can find me there. You can also listen to my other show, Foundation Radio, by going to youtube.com/@FoundationRadioPod or by listening to the audio version at foundationradio.net. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop. Love this shirt so much, Meanie. I wore it 2 weeks in a row. So you can go over there and visit them on the outskirts of Lawrenceville in downtown Pittsburgh. I'm just saying, when you have a style, when we have style, you don't want to fuck with it, you know? Go down there and ask them. You schedule your appointment today with Jane. All right, yeah, listen to me. Try that again. Schedule your appointment today with Kane, Jordan, and the rest of the team by going to 10th Ward.
And you Tarzan.
I can't speak very well. Why use all words? First day with the new mouth. Schedule your appointment today with them going to 10thwardbarbershop.com. The Feinberg Method. My trainer, Brad Feinberg, is ready to train you and help you with your physical and mental well-being by going to thefeinbergmethod.com. Use promo code Goober. Save up to 20% off of your entire purchase. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa de Meanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Don't forget to check out my articles and my columns and my op-eds at bodyslam.net. I am a staff writer over there now, and I'd love to hear your feedback, commentary, and analysis on what I do. So I appreciate that, and we appreciate you. Don't forget to sign up today at patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Tiers start at just $10. If you look over there above Meanie's head, you can go to youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie. Subscribe today. Join us each and every week because these video episodes are now available every Monday, the same time they drop, the same time our audio episodes drop. So don't forget to check it out. If you look underneath us here, you see our social media handles at Twitter and Instagram, Mind of the Meanie. Look right there. They're right. If you look down a little bit farther, they're right there. I'm not trying to fall through. That's my biggest fear is taking a dive. But
I've been to the edge. I stood and looked down. I lost a lot of friends there, baby. I ain't got time to boop around.
You can go follow us there and keep up to date with everything on the show. Meanie, I want to thank you for being here today, as always.
Thank you, sir.
We appreciate you. We thank you for the Pod Squad for your questions.
You, sir.
Thank you. Well, if I may, sir, thank you.
No, sir. Thank you.
I acknowledge you, sir. So for the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.